Hi everyone, it's Olga from Olga's Flavor Factory, and today I am making amazing pecan sticky buns that are kind of like cinnamon buns because they have a sweet cinnamon filling. The topping is like sticky, kind of like caramel with crunchy pecans. And the best part is how fluffy and tender these buns are. They are incredible. You will not get anything like this in any store or bakery. The ingredients that we need for the yeast dough are some water and dry yeast, some sugar, oil, milk, a little salt, and flour. That is it. The water and the milk should be warm but not too hot. If you get it too hot, it's gonna kill the yeast and your dough will not rise. So it should be like warm bath water around 100 to 110 degrees, not any higher than that. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour the yeast into the warm water, dissolve it, and just let it hang out and start getting foamy. Some dry yeast you don't have to put in warm water first. You can just put it all together and mix it all together at the same time. But I like to do it anyway because it's a great way to check and see if your yeast is nice and fresh. If it's old yeast, it's not going to rise, it's not going to get foamy. So it's a good way to know it before you get started and waste so much time in ingredients. I also like to add a little bit of sugar to the yeast and water because it will help the yeast to foam up faster. Now mix all of the liquid ingredients together until they're mixed evenly. I do this with a whisk attachment on the mixer and just mix it for a few minutes until the sugar is dissolved. Next, I'm going to switch from the whisk attachment to the dough hook, which you need for bread doughs, yeast doughs, stiffer doughs like that. And we're gonna add the flour. I do it in sections so that you can mix part of it in and then add more as you go. Start the speed on low as you're adding the flour because you don't want to have a cloud of flour all over the place. And then as the flour gets incorporated, the dough comes together. Turn up the speed on high, and we're going to knead it for a little while so that we have a nice elastic dough. Pour a little bit of oil into the bottom of the bowl and then put the dough right on top of it. That way when you're taking it out later, it's gonna be really easy to take it out. And then cover it with plastic wrap and set it aside until it doubles in size. Also, if you have an Instant Pot, put the dough into the Instant Pot, turn it on to the yogurt setting. It's gonna be around 100 degrees, which is gonna make it rise in half the time. The dough rose beautifully, look at this. And now we're gonna get all the rest of our ingredients. For the inside of the buns, we need some softened butter, some brown sugar, and cinnamon. And then we need some heavy cream and some pecans. That is gonna go in the bottom of the baking sheet. I'm using a 13 by 9 inch baking sheet. Grease the baking dish on the sides with butter or oil, and then I'm gonna pour the heavy cream right into the baking dish, add the brown sugar, whisk it all together until it's combined, then sprinkle the chopped pecans on top, and set the baking dish aside. On a lightly floured surface, roll out the dough into a rectangle. Then spread the softened butter all over the top and sprinkle it with the cinnamon and the brown sugar. Roll up the dough tightly lengthwise, just like a jelly roll. Cut the dough in half, then cut each half in half and divide each piece into 3 pieces. Place the cinnamon rolls in the baking dish on top of the pecans. Cover the baking dish with a clean kitchen towel or plastic wrap and set it aside until they double in size. This is my favorite part. Look at how they rose. They're so puffy. Nice and golden brown on the top. And now I'm gonna invert this baking dish on top of this cutting board and turn it upside down so we can have that beautiful sticky topping on top. You will not get the same experience in any bakery or restaurant because when you take them out of the oven, first of all, your house smells incredible from the cinnamon and the sugar and butter. When you tear off one of these buns, it's still warm. It is so fluffy and tender. It just melts in your mouth. It is 100% worth it to make it from scratch at home. You know what else is great about these? If you have a smaller family and can't eat all of these at once, I know this is a big portion, you can easily reheat them the next day, put them in the oven or the microwave for a few minutes, get them nice and warm again, and they'll taste just as fresh the next day too. Thanks for joining me. Go to Olga's Flavor Factory to get the printable recipe so you can make it for your loved ones too. And while you're there, check out more amazing recipes for baked goods that you can make at home.